So tell me real quick how you got into building a social media juggernaut that you got. What is happening, best ever community? This is Matt Faircloth, and I am your brand new host for the best ever CRE show. Best ever listeners, I've got a great guest today. I'm honored to call a personal friend. We've done a lot of work together. We've just shared a lot of time together at conferences and everything like that. Dave Pere is a Marine for 14 years. So I'll make sure to be nice to him. He didn't snap my neck like a toothpick because he could. And now he's a full-time real estate investor. And he's also the host of the Military to Millionaire podcast, among many other things. Everybody has Dave Pere, and he's got the second best beard in real estate investing. We all know who the first best beard is. And we're also friends with that guy too. And that's cool. Dave, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm in my Jason Kelsey era right now.
Yeah, so. You are. I think when I first met you, you did not have that fantastic beard. You've been working on it for a good bit. So tell me real quick how you got into building a social media juggernaut that you got. And we can start unpacking ideas and tips for the best ever listeners from there.
Interestingly enough, I got into it because the guy with the best beard in real estate was over at my house for dinner. And I asked him how to write a book. And he was like, start a blog. And I was like, cool. What should I write about? He's, I don't know, dude. Bunch of military people buy houses. Not a lot of people talk about it. Why don't you just document your journey? And that was literally the conversation. Within the next month, I'd met with Doug Nordman and a bunch of the FinCon people, taught myself via YouTube University how to start a blog, how to start a Facebook group, how to start a Instagram, how to whatever. And I was just horsing around on it. That first probably 2 or 3 years, the only intention was documenting what I was learning. And when people asked questions, I'd write content or film content to answer it. And then one day it went from Dave's this dude trying to learn about real estate and just documenting it to, oh crap, I know more about the VA loan than most vets, and I probably should answer these questions. And it just morphed into what people know now. I was very unintentional at the beginning. In fact, I ran it in the red for 3 years, right? I don't think I turned $1 in profit until 3.5 years later. And then, and so it was totally unintentional. But if someone's looking to join, on that point, as I look back, I'm like, the things I got right were I had a really well-defined niche and avatar.
100%.
And it was on accident. But if somebody's really interested in this, I would say 3 things. And I've got friends that ask me these questions all the time. I'm like, look, do you really want to do this? Because if you just think you do because other people want to have a social media platform and you're jealous they have followers, that's one thing. But if you're like, you actually enjoy educating or coaching or filming content or the idea of having conversations with the intent of just giving your information and knowledge to other people, then okay, you might actually do this. But if you just envy Ryan Pineda's following, then you're not going to last.
If you envy Ryan Pineda's following, or the longest best beard in real estate investing's following, or Dave Pere's following, or anybody's following, right? Be careful what you wish for, okay? Understand, people that follow you are not going to just follow you.
Yep.
They're going to start asking you questions. They're going to want to reach out. And so if you've got a following, understand you have to maintain that, right? Yep. But yeah, Dave, I just wanted to just pause for best ever listeners
you're right.
that might have that following FOMO. Let's call it that, right? That have the following FOMO. I want to be Pineda too. And it's only because he played baseball that he's got that following, right? Maybe not. But understand, Ryan knows what to do with the following he's got. But Dave, keep going with that about, I just wanted to caution best ever listeners about being careful what they wish for, number one.
It is overwhelming at times. And also it can be very frustrating because you're like, over the last 6 years, I put out all this information. I've got 1,200 YouTube videos out, right? So it's all this content and information and books and whatever. And people will still pop into your DMs and be like, hey, can you use the VA loan to buy an investment? And I'm like, dude, there are probably like 500 times I've answered that question. Did you not look? So it can be tiresome, right? And for anyone listening, the answer is no. You have to live in the house.
Actually, yes, you can. Here's 40 videos I shot on this topic that you can watch, right? That'll teach you all about how to do it. And here's a free course on how to do it as well and everything like that. Just so you know, all this was here at your fingertips. Yep. Had you taken, in the time that it took you to type me that question, you could have found the answer on the channel as well. But hey, here's the answer again.
Yep. You know? And you got to be careful with that too, because you'll create what I call crack babies, right? Like people will think that you're going to hold their hand, and there are people who they act because you want to help vets. They must be entitled to your help no matter what. I've had people ping me about investment opportunities that aren't even fleshed out, and I start asking questions, and they're like, they get mad, and they're like, don't you want to help vets? And I'm like, you don't even have basic answers. Like I can't fund your business venture if you can't tell me your business plan. The other two things I think are your niche, right? So if you're Dave and you want to be a real estate investor, great. You're competing with everybody in the real estate space, so find a better niche, right? And that usually means dialing it down. Like, I'm in real estate for physicians. I'm in real estate for short-term rentals. I'm the short-term rental real estate guy in this local market. Like, however you niche that down, a smaller audience is actually easier to grow in. And then figure out that avatar. Like, who is it that you're trying to reach? For me, it's my main avatar is 25 to 34-year-old males in the military, and then my second is 18 to 24. So like that 18 to 35 window, basically military age males is my demographic, which is great because I'm basically talking to myself. And
is that why male? Because my real estate investor wife is probably screaming at me from the other room right now about why can't women be a part of Dave's community as well? And it's not that it can't be a part of it, but is there a part of the avatar selection that gets into gender and everything like that? I mean, again, it's coming from my wife, real estate investor, has never had a male on her show ever in the last 4 or 5 years. My friend, am the only man that has ever set foot ever on a real estate investor stage. That's only because I'm married to the founder of Real Estate Investor, right?
Yes.
So is gender a part of the male-female? Is that part of the avatar selection as well? And maybe it is, and maybe you can play it that way too. Hey guys, hope you're loving this free education here on our YouTube channel. And if you guys love free stuff, I got more free stuff for you. Go to DeRosaGroup.com/tools, and you will see a bunch of free stuff that we've got out there. Everything from a superpower assessment to determine what your multifamily superpower is, all the way down to a free book on how to buy and find apartment buildings for you guys, even a free underwriting tool. It's all there. Go to DeRosaGroup.com/tools and grab some more free stuff. Grab that link down below and let's head back to some free education on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it certainly can be. I'd say I'm more screwed into that corner than anything. If you look at the military, less than 15% of the military is females. And then look at the real estate force. Like, it's also a small subsect of real estate. Female, like, as far as females go, they're a small subsect of a even smaller subsect in my niche. And any one of my platforms, I'm at best 30% female, but most of them I'm between 10 and 20%. And I've done content. It's funny because I've actually done content to try to change that. Like, over time, I was like, I want to involve more spouses in this. And so I've done content aimed at, like, you know, it's funny. One of the YouTube videos I did once was like best jobs for military spouses that aren't location dependent. So, because one of the issues military spouses run into, and traditionally that's female, but is you can't be a lawyer. You can, but no law firm is going to hire a girl that they know is going to leave in a year and a half. So you're tied to these either virtual or transition roles. And so I tried to post a job.
She leaves a year and a half because her husband just gets restationed. Like,
every 2 to 3 years you're gone. And my now ex-wife was dealing with that. And so I talked, and she was a academic counselor on the base for the military. So I asked her about it, and I was like, whatever. And so I made this really thought out video. I got more hate and more shut up, you don't know what you're talking about because you're not one of us comments on that video than like any other video I've ever made. And I was like, all right, fine. Men it is. That's it. So
you should have your ex-wife shoot the video, right?
I know.
That's just an example of keeping your content in line with the avatars you're going after. And I know you've got a ginormous heart, so I know you were just trying to help with that kind of stuff. So the best ever listeners, what I'm hearing here is that you really want to speak to maybe someone like yourself. When I first started shooting content, I'm like, let me put out a video that I might want to watch if I were in an alternative universe or whatever, something that I would want to check out, something that's informative for me. And so you don't want to, I think that you, Dave and I both see let's just say inauthentic social media posts and whatnot. And those are the folks, the best ever listeners. You're not going to get any more than 1,000 or 2 followers or whatever, because people see through that. But if they can identify themselves with you and they see that, oh, hey, that they're walking the path that I am, and they really care about what it is. If you're really walking the walk and you're in the sphere and you are the avatar, you will never run out of things to talk about on the channel because it's your day-to-day life, right?
Yeah, the hardest part for me has become reminding myself that just because I've covered a topic 4 or 5 times over the last 6 years doesn't mean I shouldn't cover it again because there are now new followers and new listeners. That's like the hard part for me is I'm like, oh yeah, I should do something else about the VA loan because I haven't in a while, even though really I've got like 45 videos about it. And then I'm like, that doesn't matter because nobody's
it's still relevant
look at the video 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still relevant. So that's like So best ever listeners, 100%. For social media, that's how you build a following, is you develop an avatar. Even better, if you are the avatar, right? And then Dave, what else? When you first got going, what were some of your success metrics with regards to cadence for content varieties, those kinds of things? Like, how did you build out the followings you created under other metrics that you may have, that you may can think of?
This is where it gets boring, because the single most important metric is consistency.
Yeah.
It's just being consistent. And I say every platform's a little bit different for that. Like YouTube, you can get by with 1, maybe 2 videos a week, and
Yep.
you should do long form quality content that really dives deep into specific topics that your audience is searching for, because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So let's say you want to reach Nick, the new guy, physician, real estate investor. You wouldn't just do a video, look at this awesome house I bought, because unlike if Pineda made that video where he's got 1 million followers or whatever he's at, people will watch it. You're Nick, the new guy. Nobody knows who your channel is. So if you want somebody to find that, you would have to do the video that's like, how to use the physician's loan to buy your first property. Oh, cool. Yeah. Now that guy's going to find me because he's searching for that. You know, honestly, one of the best things I found to do is just green screen. Like, you find like an article you like, you just slap the photo behind you and you talk about it. You're like, oh, what do you guys think about this? And you get them to engage. But it's on Instagram, I'd say you want to post at least once, if not twice daily. For like a Facebook group, you want to really focus on just getting the group to engage. The most engaging post I made last month, ironically, came out of a date I went on, and the post was, do you like pineapple on pizza? That was the post. And I kid you not, I had 200 and something comments on it. I didn't even look at them because there was people so angry at everything. But that post drives people
get
to
so
your
angry
group, and then they see
about
other stuff.
that.
Yeah, it's funny.
But it's
for the
real
record,
life
I like
conversation,
pineapple
right?
on pizza. So.
People lose sight of something, and that is that there are real life human beings that are watching your social media stuff and that. So for me, I try and every here and again put my kids in my videos, because guess what?
Yes.
A lot of my avatar, a little bit older, middle-aged-ish male or female too, but like in general, the family person that's looking to either expand into or get into real estate investing. And so toss your kids out there, because guess what? They likely got kids too. And yeah, pineapple on pizza, that's a real live debate. And I think that you'll at least have good conversations with people.
Yeah.
And one more thing, like, for the love of God, don't be the person out there that's the a-hole social media poster and do, hey, look how I bought this house with no further information or whatever it is. Don't be doing vanity or brag social media posts. Nobody gives a shit. Okay, guys?
I'll call you out on
just
it.
don't. What's that?
I said, I'll call you out on it. I have a whole lot of posts where I find gurus or people that misinform the public on the properties they bought and omit numbers, and I just tear them apart. So a buddy of mine posted one 2 days ago. It was a screenshot of him in front of a house, and then it was a screenshot of the mortgage statement showing $626 was his monthly payment. And then he says it rents for $1,700 on Section 8. Here's the numbers. And it was $25,000 down, $100,000 purchase, $1,700 in rent, $656 in expenses, cash flow $1,100. How'd we do? And I was like, based on your mortgage statement, that's an interest-only mortgage, and you don't have, apparently, taxes, insurance, vacancy, maintenance, CapEx, property management, or anything else that could ever go wrong with the property. So in that light, it looks great. But in other light, and the thing that frustrates me about that is if you do the math, and let's be real, Section 8, you're going to have maintenance issues. But if you do the math on that, a $100,000 house that's rented for $1,750 is still a guarantee. Even with all of that, he's still cash flowing. So it's like, why would you go online and lie about what's already a good deal?
Sensationalize,
so great.
You know? Tell the damn truth.
And that's still good. If I put $20,000 down on a house and made whatever that math is, $5,000 a month back on it, I would be okay with that. It's a 25% cash on cash.
Yeah. So let's just to touch on that real quick, Dave. There are people that I see make what I call sizzle posts, right? Mm-hmm. It's likely what that was that you're talking about, right? Which is a bit of, look what I've just done. Look what I've just purchased. Look how amazing I am. This apartment building, mine. That car, mine. See that over there? Huh? How about me? It would be like me? Sizzle posts like that. So first of all, don't do that. Best ever listeners, don't do sizzle posts, okay? Because people will see through the BS. Yes, you might dupe a few people by like, I want that kind of car too. I want that apartment building or whatever. And yes, I have done the video in front of an apartment building, but 100%, I'm not going to go and brag and be like, look at this, look at what I got. I'm going to be like, hey, let me tell you all how I did it. Let's educate. And I want you best ever listeners to really hear this. Number one, don't do sizzle posts. Dave, I also want you to talk about another post that I see that are like sensational posts, meaning like trying to just, they're trying to get somebody, get your attention, eye-catching, sizzle, whatever it is. Like the market's going to crash tomorrow, and what to do by, you have to watch this video, or so I can tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Clickbait.
So sizzle post, sensational post. Let's talk about those two things.
The clickbait stuff drives me nuts too. It's you can have that conversation.
It might work.
I like to stoke that fire a little bit, but I don't do it. I'm not the doom and gloom guy. I'm like the, hey, I saw this article. What do you guys think, guy? And then I let people just divulge in the comments. Because the reality is, people have been screaming that the market's going to crash for the last 7 of 9 years that I've been investing in real estate.
100%.
And
Tomorrow. Any day now.
Yeah, let's be real, Matt. Like, what's the game? If you and I say it every week, eventually we're going to be right. And then we're going to go online. And that's how I love when I see people who are like, I'm the guy who predicted the '08 crash, and I wrote this book, and this is why you should listen to me. And I'm like, how do we go back and find how many other times you predicted before you were right? Because I guarantee that's what happened. I'm calling it right now, Matt. Somewhere between 2024 and 2050, the market's going to crash. So you heard it here first, guys.